statement and jump right into questions. So, quick question.
I thought Wyoming did a tremendous job. Sundance Wicks has got his team playing with a lot of energy. They're competitive. Obviously, Leland Walker had a tremendous game. We let him get going early. We had a tough time guarding him in the middle of the floor. We started the game too casual, man. I don't know. I was trying to crank our guys up before the game in regards to how competitive we were going to need to be, because I've watched them improve over the last few games that they played, talking about Wyoming. And I thought we practiced hard going into this, but our competitiveness is completely tied to how we're playing on offense. And it looked like we were okay with trying to be in a scoring battle with them to start, and just not enough of an edge. And we're too worried about what we're doing on the offensive end, and we're letting that dictate how we play defensively. So till we find a level of grit to come out here and compete, we're gonna be in these type of games, and it's gonna catch up to us at some point. And give Wyoming all the credit, because I thought they took it to us in the way they drove the basketball and dictated, the attack, and we just didn't respond well enough defensively over the course of the game.
Coach, it felt like anytime Wyoming really got something going, it was working deep into the shot clock. How does that put pressure on your defense to go out there and make a stop when they play so deep?
Yeah, well, I'd do the same thing if I were playing on the road, and that was smart. Just make people guard longer than they want to, and obviously we don't have a very, a tough group right now. We melt pretty quick. We have breakdowns, and I thought Donovan Atwell really gave us a lift to start the second half. He struggled early, kind of got in foul trouble a little bit, and then he started that second half. I thought he was just out there trying to win. He made a play on a lob that got a deflection. He came up with that jump ball underneath the basket when they got a back screen for it. His urgency at that second half looked like what it needed to look like. We just got to match that urgency and find guys that want to do that on every possession.
Yeah, Coach, you did a lot of offense or defense for offense substitutions for Watts, pulling him on the defensive end and vice versa and so forth. Could you go into some detail about what exactly he needs to do to improve defensively?
Well, one, if you watch it, he doesn't move his feet well enough constantly. He gets stalled and he's late to the action, and you got to anticipate and move as the ball moves, and he seems a half step slow, and when teams are making threes. I thought he did a better job of competing, and I thought he did a better job, and he wants to. He comes in those timeouts, and there's some urgency to him, and obviously there's two parts to this. One, I felt like we just have better lineups defensively. So it's not about that he can't necessarily do it. I just think we have better guys in those spots. Now the question is, can he get to a level where he's at the same level and we don't have to do that? That's an area that I think he'll actually get to. It's just we're really cranking this thing up on him, and he's improving, but not at a rate that I feel like gives us an advantage.
And kind of along those lines, you said a lot after the Florida game. One of the things you wish you could have done better was sub offense for defense in certain situations. You did that a lot today with Leon and Luke, kind of putting them in where they could succeed more. How difficult is that for you to make that change on the fly like that, or just kind of recognizing you didn't do something well enough, so you got to make those changes moving forward?
Yeah, as a coach, I'm such a feel guy because I want those guys to have confidence, and I love when we can, put a group out there that you show some grit and their feel is right and they understand the moment and they can capitalize on it and their competitiveness. A part of this, I don't know if it's noticeable to everybody, but a part of this is there an urgency to see it and to go do it. There's an execution part of this that is not natural for some guys. They have a tendency to take a negative step instead of putting their nose in the middle of it. And with limited practice time, the only way to get that is to ramp practices so competitively that it exposes you. But what that also does is it exposes your team to getting injured which we had a couple guys that weren't able to play today because we had some competitive practices and they get in the middle of it and things happen, and so we're going to try to improve that. What we can't have happen is lose a basketball game because we're trying to get people better and put them in positions. And I want them to want to be out there defensively instead of getting subbed out. No, I can do it. That's what I want to hear somebody. No, I got it, coach. I'll get it. And instead of like looking at you like we're not sure. I want somebody to be like, we're winning this game. And I'll make sure we win it. And we're moving in that direction. Trust me, we've got better attention, but Lawan will get there. I have no doubt about that. I honestly don't. I really don't. I think he'll get there because he really wants to. It's just when we get in those games, I do think as a coach, I've got to keep putting us in a great position. If we didn't have timeouts, maybe I have a dilemma. But we did have 2 timeouts, so I felt like if we didn't get a stop and I wanted a sub-offense defense, I could have done it. That's where managing timeouts and having one for a challenge is going to be important, and having one to be able to do what we need to do to get the right teams on the court. And this is probably the biggest discrepancy of any team I've ever coached, where I have guys that are significantly better on one side of the ball than the other. And I got to get better as a coach and try to manage the game as best I can.
And then a little bit on Leon, because he's gotten more time the last couple of games. What was kind of the plan for him initially going into this year, and where is he kind of at now in terms of, is this kind of a byproduct of the practice time that he's gotten as opposed to other guys, or are you seeing more from him that you like to put him out there?
Yeah, Leon's gotten significantly better. And I'll tell you, and I don't mean this negatively on some of the new guys, but some of the new guys look at me and they're not real sure exactly the urgency, how they need to play. And so they're trying to figure it out by the way Leon knows now. Now, whether he can do it when he gets out there is different, but I will tell you, Leon has competitively been in enough environments for us and seen us in practice that he walks into practice with a competitiveness that he's been impactful. And if you watch these games, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He gets off the ball quickly. He puts pressure on the defense. I thought his layup in the first half, and I thought the stops he got at the end were good. He fouled too much, but he's just got more experience with the way I want to do it, and so I'm confident in him. I think he can actually make threes. He should have taken a couple of them instead of rip driving those. That's where he came into timeout and said, I'll shoot the next one. He's not looking at me like, should I shoot the next one? No, he came to me and said, Coach, I'll shoot the next one. He's got more of a confidence in what we're doing, and I've been thrilled with his effort. I think he's really can help us. He ended up with 4 rebounds. He got in there on a big offensive rebound that I thought was pivotal. I mean, he's got the right competitiveness for us to play, and I'm going to keep putting him in there.
And then you got this stretch of, I believe it's 2 games in 14, 15 days or something like that. How much benefit do you think that is to heal up some guys and keep working on those things?
Huge. I think these next 2 weeks, these 3 of our ability to practice without playing too many games can really elevate this team and allow us to make a big jump. This team's ready for a breakthrough. I mean, we didn't shoot it great from the free throw line. We need to be more competitive at the point of attack. I thought our switching really hurt them. I thought we got better in a few areas. That was good to see that we were able to switch a lot. We haven't done that a lot since I've been here, and we switched all 5 guys, and I just think we've got to get comfortable when the ball doesn't go in for us. How are we going to compete and still respond and play well defensively so that we can separate and win? Because you can still play bad offensively and win games. We just don't believe it. We're too consumed with what we're doing. And so those practices and this experience will help us get there.
About the work of Christian Anderson at that point, is it getting better for you?
Yeah, Christian, I thought his play at the end of the game was tremendous. I mean, him getting fouled, I thought he got on the side. I did a terrible job in this game because I got to get him more touches. I got to put the ball in Lawan's hands in the middle of the floor so that Christian we can create some opportunities for him to come off the ball. That'll help us. That'll help him. In a game where he handles the ball. I mean, he played 40 minutes. I thought he's competitive. He's awesome, man. He was great at the end. Those and ones and getting to the free throw line. He's really been a rock for us. Just I got to do a better job helping him get loose, and so he can take and make some more threes because one of them was a half court heave. So really, he got two good looks.
All right, be honest. Who scheduled this game? You or Coach Linder?
This is the byproduct of getting Coach Linder. So that's how this works. But give them credit. This will make us better. and they got a great team, and they'll keep improving. They're going to have a chance to be super competitive in the Mountain West, and I'm excited to watch them grow and get better because they got the right pieces, and Sundance is doing an awesome job.
Just defensively in that first half, it seemed like Wyoming was having some success on screening actions, whether it was slips or ghost or everything. You mentioned all 5 players switching. Do you think that's a product of that? And was there any adjustments at halftime to fix that a little bit?
Well, they scored 18 points off ball screen pick and roll. It wasn't really. I mean, they got one off of a wide pin down where they threw the lob off of it, but a majority of it was the ball handler and the roller creating advantages for each other. That's why we made the adjustment at halftime to switch more, and that's why I thought we had more success in the second half. I mean, we held them to 36%, I think is what it says. I'm getting old. And then they made a couple really tough step backs. I mean, they made a step back 3 on Don in the middle of the floor. They made a step back on the right side. We missed a few shots, and they got out in transition, and Leland, that's where he made more damage and getting fouled. And so I just think we got to keep making progress and guarding the ball in the middle of the floor because we all know that's what it basically comes down to. Can you guard the ball in the middle of the floor in whatever action it is, and how well can you communicate it, and how physical can you be without fouling? Thank you all for being here.